Hey everybody, One Weasel here at 11:32 p.m. Monday night, May 12, 2014. I am very happy because we've done the base upgrades for Smolderdash. Then I took her down the Sunforged path, which turned out to be really cool. Just stuck on my LightCore Smolderdash here. Got her the base upgrades, and we are ready to take the Sunforger path. Biggest difference, just notably between the two. Sunforged, you do a couple of things. You kind of get the Sun's core. That one's not too big, particularly when you factor in the Soul Gem. The Sunny Armor, though, plus 40, whereas here on the Sunforger you get the critical hit increased, which will be nice, particularly when documenting things. Sometimes I spend like 4 minutes waiting for critical numbers. But you essentially kind of get to the point where you're upgrading your secondary attack, and then you use the whip to split it. So it's going to be interesting to see how this comes out. Both paths seemed really good. Again, the main reason that I picked Sunforged for my, Smolderdash standard non-LightCore, I'm a big sucker for armor or speed. In this case, Forged had the armor, and then I was really impressed with the charge attack Sunrise, and Solar Blast did not disappoint there. So if I just had the one figure, I would still have stuck to that. However, I think Sunforger could turn out to be very nice as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and grab this. Yes, that is what we want. Again, I do like the warning box here. She is a new lander, so if you're used to like your Series 3 Phantom Cinder or something switching paths, new landers don't get to do that. So you can reset the character if you hate it, but just beware that all of your money, all of your leveling, all of your progress on quests, anything along those lines will also go with it. So we're going to go ahead and select that path. And we'll come in. Our first purchased upgrade is Super Giant, the price $10.88. Bear in mind, I get that with my entire 18 Wing Sapphires for the 36% off. But hold A to charge a sun into a Super Giant sun. Release to throw it forward, which deals more damage and hits more enemies. So let's go ahead and buy that, see what we can't do. Alright, next up is Solar Flare. Critical hit is increased. She was at 8 box stock. We'll see what this does. Again, the critical hit is nice. It's just, to me, again, I'm kind of old school, been here since SSA, so armor and speed, particularly the way I play the game, have a bigger bearing on swing, in my opinion. That said, I'm sure as heck not going to argue with this, and I'm buying it right now for the simple fact I hope it makes my life easier in terms of documenting all this stuff. So, interestingly though, before I forget, down Sunforged, Eclipse basically had no effect. It didn't increase the damage, or anything on Solar Blast or Sun's Core. We'll go ahead and check it here on Sunforger just in case it does, but we'll monitor that. Alright, next up, can we get this one yet? Let's wait on that, just, in the event that something crazy would happen. Alright, so here's LightCore Smolderdash. We're going to come way over here. And what did we buy? We got her Solar Blast, actually critical hit. Not a huge gain, but again on the critical hit, small numbers have a big effect, if you will. So where armor went from 12 to 52, and it's like, wow, that's awesome. Critical hit went from 8 to 17. However, if you look at it, that's like doubling it, which is pretty good. Granted, on the armor, we basically like multiplied it by 4 or doubled it twice, what have you. That said, though, if I can get these numbers to come out easier in the video, I'm a happy guy. So, we're going to hold A to charge the sun into the Super Giant Sun, release to throw it forward, and that will deal more damage and hits more enemies. So I guess the first thing I need to do, I found it's actually easier if I start over here, and then I'll just try to count it out, and we'll kind of run behind it. So there's what our standard one looks like. Actually, let's check the damage there and make sure it doesn't go up or anything. 8, 25, yeah, so we're good. We'll come back over here. Let's see how many seconds it takes to charge. Basically 2, which is about par. Wow, that's pretty big. I'm just gonna follow it, and okay, so I don't think that has quite the range. Just to showcase it to you, I'm gonna release a standard one and run behind it. Actually, so you can I guess that did. Let me count it out. What I had that one at last time was like 9 seconds, so I'll just count the big one. It'll save us a little bit of time. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and here we go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5. Huh, that's interesting. Let's try it over here. Standard. Got 7 that time. That's interesting. Let's just do this one again. 2 seconds there. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Notice you can run when you do this, so that's kind of cool if you need to like set it up or something. Let's go ahead. Last time I'll do this. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. I guess I'll call that 5 seconds. I don't know how I got that 9 last time. Because it didn't seem to come out this time. Anyway, super giant. 2 seconds to charge. 2 second charge. 5 second run. Basically what I mean by that, it's 2 seconds to charge it up, and when you release it, then it'll go 5 seconds of its own free will. So now we're actually going to release that at some enemies and see what happens. Not hitting you with the dummies. 12. I like how it climbs the mushroom. So 12 and 40. We didn't see any critical numbers despite me buying the critical hit. I think that first one's critical, but I just missed it. It's 12 to 18. So let me go ahead and put that in here. 12 to 18 on hit, and then the explosion we've got a 40 and something else, so we'll try to figure that out. 40, so I guess 40 standard, that'll be nice. The critical number now, which I'd like to see fast since we bought the critical upgrade and all. You know? Maybe the game forgot about that. We should double our chances of seeing critical numbers. You know? Again, this is why I prefer armor. You know, it's like we should have double the chance +1 of seeing the critical numbers, and this is just like we didn't have the extra critical hit. Then again, maybe it maxes out at 40. I wouldn't think so. Just based on the fact it used to not be the same number. But this is ridiculous. This video could be like really quick, or thanks to stuff like this, it can take a long time. Let me try to position one where I can maybe get 2 points. Angle it this way. 240, so at least we'll have twice the chance of seeing a critical. 60. Okay, so finally, 40 to 60 on explosion, and I can tell you right now, solar flare is an absolute joke, at least in my opinion. Critical hit went from 8 to 17, so let me document that. Critical hit +9, 8-17. Alright, so that's disappointing. I was expecting we'd see critical numbers twice as fast, and we're clearly not, so that's my issue with that. Now what I have to check now, solar flare, no I'm sorry, super giant, 12 to 18, 40 to 60. Let's go into Eclipse and then see what happens. So we're in Eclipse.
The sun is rising.
It looks different. 14 to 21, wow. Didn't see the number there. Now I've got to document that. So semicolon, Eclipse, 14 to 21 on hit, and then explosion is unknown right now. We're going to figure that out. Alright, so I can tell you right now on this spreadsheet I'm probably going to have like super giant and then a blank line, and I'll just have this information there, so it's a smaller deal. That's easier to read on the post. But We're entering Eclipse.
Flame is the game.
Columbus, 2 Mississippi. 44, and then it seems to pull enemies in on this one. So 40 became 44, and then 66. Hallelujah. So 44 to 66 on explosion. So Eclipse does in fact actually work here. Now we will run back over here to Mr. Gorm in our rich fancy shoes. And, gotta pick up the final one here, which is called Sunsplitter for 1920. Press A to shoot a blazing sun at enemies. Press Y to strike the sun with a whip and cause the sun to speed up. A supergiant, which is when we charge it for the 2 seconds, splits into 3 smaller suns when hit. So this one will be tough to document if it works with Eclipse, which we will find out now. We can go ahead and buy the soul gem too. Smolderdash, note the space there, so this is the Smolderdash for Smolderdash, if that makes sense to you. Perform the powerful Smolderdash when you press X while in Eclipse mode. Price. Oh, geez, I saw that 1363 and I was like, wait, I know I had the money. So we're now fully upgraded with this lady. Again, the soul gem adds like that golden aura. I'm not a huge fan. I am actually, her on fire look has grown on me significantly. I'd always wondered why they picked to have her in like all black, and I guess what it is, she starts out that way, but then as soon as you buy her first base upgrade Eclipse, she gets like that flaming aura look to her, which is really cool. The gold I'm not a huge fan of, but I mean the majority of her body is still the flaming. It's just the gold is so bright. It's kind of hard to pick up on. So Smolderdash, just to showcase that, we're in Eclipse, we press X, she's going to do 40 to 60. These really quick dashes, and this is a way to move from point A to point B with her really fast. There seems to be like a 3-second lag between when you dash and when you can do it again. But if you need to go from A to B, or you're in like a time challenge with her, that's the way to do that. So we've covered the soul gem, and now all that's left is Sunsplitter. So now when we press our A button, we're going to shoot the orb or the blazing sun. Then we're going to use the Y button to strike it with a whip, and it's going to speed up. Then if we do the super giant, it will split. So let's go ahead and start simple. Wow. That's the 75 to 113, just like we had that's pretty cool. Did not know that would be the case. So Sunsplitter is going to be 75 to 113. Standard. I guess I'll put STD there for you. Now if we go into Eclipse mode, what's it going to do?
Flame is the game.
Oh well, well, this is just not my day. 82, I think that's what we can go with. Okay, so
Bringing the heat.
123, 82 to 123. 82 to 123 with Eclipse. Then, semicolon, we're actually going to go into the supergiant. And we gotta figure that one out. So we're gonna hold the A button for 2 seconds. Release that. Hit it. And that was a lot to take in. Let me try that. Come back. Oh, we missed it. Anyway. Well, sheep are really a problem. Jeez, this is crazy. I'm seeing the 75 and 113. Let me try to center this on those 2 guys. Maybe it'll just split like a Y for us. I'm ready to go after those 2. We're just hitting one guy, it splits into two supposedly. The problem I have is I don't know where the numbers are going to come up, and it's like insanely hard. What I'm trying to do is like these two guys here, I'm like making the bottom of the V, and I'm wanting me to hit the supergiant, and then the two that it splits into to hit number one at the bottom of the screen and number two in the dead middle, and that is not working, So that one was 70. This is gonna be like a total pain to dodge with this thing. Is that a 1? I don't even know. It was like a 40 and it looked like hundreds back there. Oh boy. Okay. I don't know. So Sunsplitter was doing 75 to 113, 82 to 123 with the Eclipse. And then Supergiant you would think would do more than that, but I don't think it is. Let me come back over this way, maybe we can see things better. Get this stupid sheet out of here. Wait, that broke into 3. I don't get what's going on. I mean, that was clearly 3 smaller suns that just went back way. I don't know if it's like the 2 smaller ones with the regular one that's now the same size as the 2 smaller ones. I think maybe they meant to say hit the supergiant and you'll have 3 equally sized solar orbs. It's just locking on so fast. Again, there's clearly 3 of these things when you hit a supergiant. And so I think it's going to be... What I'm going to do, supergiant has 3 solar orbs that do 75 to 130. I'm just going to call it that because that's what it looks like to me. I know that's not what they say, but that's what I'm seeing. Plus, we could be here all night. Now, the question is if I'm in Eclipse and I do the supergiant one. There's Eclipse.
The sun is rising.
Here's our supergiant. 82. So, I'm not sure why you would ever really do this when it's so much easier to function just going one at a time, Yep, I think that's about it. I guess no real change. There's standard, I mean just your small orb, it's doing 75. Critical would get up to 113. Then if I charge it, like this for the supergiant, splits into 3 and it's going to do the same 75 to 113. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Let's see here. So Sun Forger. We got basically a 2-second charge time for the supergiant, then it lasts 5 seconds or so, 12 to 18 when it hits 40 to 60 on the explosion. And then if you execute the supergiant from Eclipse, there is an increase, 14 to 21 as it coasts through things, 44 to 66 on the explosion. Solar Flare, they claim it's +9 critical hit. I don't know that I agree with that, but that's what it says it is. And then Sunsplitter, I kind of equate it with Sun's Core, not quite up to what I had hoped. 75 to 113 standard. If you're in Eclipse, 82 to 123. And then the Supergiant is the one that's kind of... I mean, it's cool, but I guess, it's one of those deals I think I'd appreciate it a lot more if I was around enemies or something. But they essentially do the same damage, 75 to 113, and then even in Eclipse, you're gonna have the same as standard, 82 to 123. So Supergiant has 3 solar orbs, 75 to 113 with, and then 82 to 123 with Eclipse. So Eclipse actually does impact Supergiants and Sunsplitter. It's kind of hard to appreciate Sunsplitter here, at the training grounds, I think. So that said, that is LightCore Smolderdash fully upgraded down the Sun Forger path. I can tell you right now, Smolderdash base upgrades, awesome. Sun Forged that I did with standard Smolderdash, awesome. And then Sun Forger that we just did with LightCore Smolderdash here, awesome. Let's see here. If you enjoy splitting or hitting the orbs or something, or splitting the Supergiant with Sunsplitter, you would probably want to take Sun Forger. If critical hit means something to you, you'd want to take Sun Forger. In all honesty, I think I am more happy with Sun Forge. The armor to me is a bigger deal. You've already seen how long it was taking me to get the critical numbers in some of this after buying Solar Flare. So I'm not totally sold on that being worth its weight there. Supergiant's kind of neat. It's just, to me, when the primary attack's that impressive, don't really know that I'd have to have it. Sunsplitter's cool, but again, when I have Solar Blast and I can do that 80 to 120 that charges just as fast, and then it shoots out the 5 that are doing the same damage, can't go wrong there. Sun's Core, not a lot to that one down Sun Forge, but it's there, and I mean the rest of it's pretty solid. So really comes down to your playstyle. Sun Forger might be better for PvP. It kind of comes down to how you play, though. Sun Forged is probably better for story mode, in my opinion, because of the armor. And they both get Smolderdash, which is pretty good. Really, I mean, it just comes down to your personal playstyle and preferences. But for me, I think Sunforge slightly edges it out. However, both paths are really good. This isn't a case where I can say, man, this path is horrible, or, this is disappointing. It could have been so good. This is a deal where I have to say, hey, these are both actually really good. Very rare that you run across that where, sometimes you'll have the both paths are, decent. You won't really be upset with one or the other. In this case, they're both pretty dadgum good. So nonetheless, that is LightCore Smolderdash fully upgraded. Take that link at the top of the video description box. It will actually take you to a post dedicated to Smolderdash. You'll see her base upgrade video. You'll see the aforementioned Sun Forged upgrade path video. And then you'll see this one, of course, with LightCore Smolderdash down Sun Forger. In addition to that, you will see my handy dandy spreadsheet, which showcases all of the damage numbers. If you have questions about how it's worded or something, it should be pretty clear after you've watched the videos. Ultimately, the goal there is to help you pick the best path for your character. If you've already picked one, it's either to affirm that, or let you know that you need to reset it, or let you know that it's just as awesome as the path that you correctly picked the first time, and you might want to go out and buy a second Smolderdash. So as long as we accomplish that, I figure things are going pretty well. Make sure you're subscribed. That will keep you up with the latest. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+. As always, check out the site, oneofweezem.com. Twitter's your best source of updates. However, if you're not on Twitter, you can go to the site and scroll down on the right hand side just below all the polls that are currently active. You'll see the Twitter feed, so you can kind of keep up with things that way. So that said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here. I guess I will back up and do the air element new landers and kind of go from there. So Popthorn and Scratch, I guess we'll get those two taken care of. Stay tuned for that. Again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here next time.